Welcome to your math class. Before starting, let's see the learning objectives and contents of this lesson. Can you imagine what is it about? The main objectives of this lesson are four. First of all, to understand what a random experiment is. Secondly, to understand what probability is. Thirdly, to identify the different types of events that can be possible, impossible, and sure. And finally, to calculate the probability by using the Laplace rule. The main contents of this lesson are extracted from the curriculum of el Principado de Asturias, and there are comparación de los resultados obtenidos en situaciones cotidianas o juegos relacionados con el azar, con estimaciones previas sobre los mismos, cálculo de probabilidades, los casos favorables entre los casos posibles. There are some situations in our daily life in which we cannot predict what is going to happen, although we do know the possible results. For instance, if we roll a dice, we do not know the resulting number, but we are sure that it will range from 1 to 6. These situations are called random experiments, and every result of a random experiment is called an event. That is, flipping a coin is a random experiment, since we cannot predict the result, although we know that it will be a head or a tail. It is all determined by randomness. I have a question for you. Can we know whether an event is more likely to happen than another? Thanks to probability, we are able to make this calculation. But what is it about? Probability measures the degree of likelihood of obtaining any of the possible outcomes in a random experiment. There are three types of events. First of all, possible event, that is, a result that can occur. For example, to obtain a 5 if we roll a dice. Secondly, an impossible event, that is, a result that cannot occur. For example, to obtain a 7 if we roll a dice, because dice don't have the number 7. And finally, sure event is a result that is always going to happen. For example, to obtain a number smaller than 7 if we roll a dice, because all the numbers in the dice are smaller than 7. As we mentioned before, we can know the result of an event, but we can know how likely each result is thanks to probability. The probability is represented by a fraction. In the quotient, we have the number of favorable cases for the event to occur, divided by the possible cases we can obtain. We can also express the result of the probability in percentage by multiplying the resulting fraction by 100. Let's calculate the probability of obtaining a 3 when rolling a dice. The number of favorable cases are 1, because there is only one 3 in the dice. The number of total possible cases are 6, because there are 6 numbers in the dice. So the result is 1 out of 6. If we multiply this by 100, the percentage will be 16.6. Let's make it a little bit complex. What is the probability of obtaining a number between 1 and 4 when rolling a dice? In this case, the number of favorable cases are 4, because we can get the results 1, 2, 3, 4. And the number of total possible cases are 6 again, because the dice have 6 numbers that we can get. So the result is 4 out of 6. If we multiply this by 100, the result will be 16.6%. Once we obtain the result of the probability, we can classify this result depending on their likelihood. The first example is unlikely to happen because it is less than half of the total possible cases, but it is not 0. The second example is likely to happen because it is more than half of the total possible cases, but is not 6. Well, we have seen a lot of things. Maybe it's time for a review. Let's do some exercise. First of all, calculate the probability of obtaining a number between 1 and 40. when you get a ball out of a bag with 100 balls numbered from 1 to 100. What kind of probability is the previous result? Calculate the probability of obtaining an even number when rolling a dice. What kind of probability is the previous result? Complete the sentences. A random experiment depends on to be friends with an alien. This is a event. To obtain a 7 in an exam. This is a event. Choose the correct answer. We can know for sure the result we are going to get in a situation of our daily life. Is the sentence true or false? The probability of obtaining heads or tails when flipping a coin is 100%. Is the sentence true or false? Probability is used to know of an event to happen. Here you have the mind map of the lesson. That's all for today. Please let me know if you have any doubt. Bye.